Hello, New York Yankees fans. We have brand new exclusive videos and the latest news for you. Before we get started, we'd like to invite you to join our channel and give this video a like. It's crucial to get exclusive access to the latest updates. The baseball world woke up buzzing with a rumor that feels almost too wild to believe, yet somehow too electric to ignore. Word began spreading quietly through clubhouses, fan forums, and the endless chatter of sports radio. Nolan McClean, the rising star tied so strongly to the New York Mets' future, is suddenly being linked to the most dramatic of destinations, the New York Yankees. For years, McClean has represented promise, power, and the next generation of pitching brilliance. Fans across the city watched his development closely, imagining the day he would dominate major league hitters in Queens. But rumors like this have a strange way of shaking the foundations of expectations. As whispers grew louder, the image started forming in people's minds. McClean walking into Yankee Stadium wearing the iconic pinstripes. It is the kind of storyline that feels almost cinematic. Rivalries, city pride, and baseball tradition all colliding at once. In the Bronx, the reaction has been immediate and emotional. Fans are already imagining what this could mean for a franchise that thrives on star power and bold moves. And even though nothing has been officially confirmed, the mere possibility has sent shockwaves through New York's baseball universe. Because when the Yankees are involved in a rumor like this, people know one thing for sure: anything can happen. To understand why this rumor is exploding the way it is, you have to understand the aura surrounding Nolan McClean. From the moment he began gaining attention in professional baseball circles, scouts spoke about him with a certain tone of excitement. Not just because of his raw pitching ability, but because of his competitive edge, the kind that makes hitters uncomfortable and energizes a stadium full of fans. McClean has been viewed by many as one of the most intriguing young arms connected to the Mets' long-term vision. His mechanics, his confidence on the mound, and his powerful presence have created the feeling that he could eventually become one of the league's defining pitchers. That is why this sudden wave of speculation feels so dramatic. The Mets and Yankees are not just neighbors in the same city. They represent different cultures, different histories, and different emotional loyalties for millions of fans. The thought that a developing Mets star could somehow end up crossing the city and landing in the Bronx is the kind of rumor that ignites debates everywhere. Some believe it would be a shocking betrayal. Others see it as the Yankees doing what they have done for generations, identifying talent and bringing it into their orbit. As the rumor kept spreading, conversations across New York started taking on a life of their own. In coffee shops, subway platforms, and late-night sports shows, people were asking the same question: could this actually be real? The Yankees have built a reputation over decades for making bold moves when an opportunity appears. The organization has never been afraid to chase elite talent, especially when that talent has the potential to dominate the spotlight of the Bronx. McClean fits that profile in many ways. He has the arm strength that makes scouts nod with approval and the kind of competitive fire that fans love to rally behind. Imagining him standing on the mound at Yankee Stadium, staring down opposing hitters while the crowd roars, has already captured the imagination of many fans. But at the same time, the idea raises questions. How would such a move even happen? What kind of deal could possibly lead to a player so closely associated with the Mets' development pipeline suddenly appearing in the Yankee system? These unanswered questions are exactly what fuel rumors like this, turning speculation into the hottest topic in the city's baseball conversation. For Mets supporters, the speculation feels almost surreal. Many have followed McClean's journey closely, watching him develop through the early stages of his professional career and dreaming about the moment he would contribute to the team's future success. The thought of losing that potential, especially to the Yankees, is enough to spark emotional reactions. Rivalries in New York sports are deeply personal, and the Mets versus Yankees dynamic carries decades of pride and tension. Fans have long defended their territory in the city's baseball landscape, and the idea of a promising talent crossing that invisible line between Queens and the Bronx feels like something out of a dramatic sports movie. Yet rumors like this also remind everyone how unpredictable baseball can be. Front offices operate with long-term strategies, financial considerations, and competitive goals that fans rarely see from the outside. Sometimes the moves that shock the public are the very ones executives believe will reshape the future. That possibility is exactly what keeps people talking. Whether they're excited, nervous, or skeptical, fans on both sides of the city cannot stop imagining the scenario unfolding. Meanwhile, in the Bronx, the atmosphere surrounding the rumor feels closer to celebration than concern. Yankees fans have always embraced the idea of their team pursuing elite talent, especially when that talent carries the potential to become a star in the biggest spotlight in baseball. The Bronx is a place where legends are made, where pitchers become household names, and where the roar of the crowd can transform a great performance into something unforgettable. For supporters of the Yankees, the thought of Nolan McClean stepping into that environment is thrilling. They picture the energy of a packed stadium, the anticipation before every pitch, and the possibility of witnessing a new chapter in the franchise's storied history. Some fans are already imagining how his style would fit the culture of the team. The intensity on the mound, the fearless approach against powerful hitters, and the presence that commands attention all seem perfectly suited for the Bronx stage. Even though the rumor remains unconfirmed, it has already sparked waves of excitement among fans who love the drama of big baseball narratives. What makes this story even more fascinating is the mystery surrounding how such a scenario could unfold. In professional baseball, deals and decisions often develop behind closed doors long before the public hears even the faintest whisper. Front offices hold quiet conversations, explore possibilities, and weigh the long-term consequences of every move. If there's even a small chance that Nolan McClean could somehow land with the Yankees, it likely involves complex discussions, strategic planning, and a willingness from both sides to consider unexpected outcomes. That uncertainty is exactly what makes rumors like this so powerful. They capture the imagination of an entire sports community, turning speculation into a city-wide conversation. For now, fans can only watch, debate, and imagine what the future might hold. But one thing is already clear. The mere suggestion of Nolan McClean arriving in the Bronx has ignited a wave of excitement that is impossible to ignore. In a city where baseball stories often feel larger than life, this rumor has quickly become one of the most talked about possibilities in recent memory. As the speculation continues to swirl, the personality of Nolan McClean becomes an even bigger part of the conversation. Those who have followed his journey describe him as a competitor with a relentless drive, someone who thrives under pressure and embraces the spotlight rather than shying away from it. That mentality alone is enough to make Yankees fans imagine how perfectly he might fit into the environment of the Bronx. The stadium, there is not just a ballpark. It is a stage where expectations are enormous, and every performance is judged under a powerful microscope. Pitchers who succeed in that environment often become legends, remembered not only for their statistics, but for the moments when they silenced a roaring crowd of opponents or electrified their own supporters. When people discuss McClean potentially stepping into that world, they picture the intensity of those moments. They imagine the young pitcher standing on the mound, gripping the baseball tightly, hearing the crowd rise with anticipation before delivering a pitch that explodes into the catcher's glove. Even though the rumor remains unconfirmed, the mental image alone is enough to keep fans talking nonstop. Another layer to this unfolding story is the symbolic weight of a player potentially crossing the city's baseball divide. The Mets and Yankees share the same metropolitan heartbeat, but their identities feel worlds apart to the fans who support them passionately. Each franchise carries its own traditions, heroes, and emotional history. That is why the idea of Nolan McClean shifting from one side of the city to the other carries such dramatic energy. It is not just about baseball talent moving between teams. It is about pride, rivalry, and the narrative of two organizations constantly trying to outshine each other in the eyes of the city. When rumors like this surface, they instantly ignite passionate debates. Some Mets fans wonder how the organization could ever allow such a scenario to develop. Meanwhile, Yankees supporters see it as the ultimate statement of ambition, proof that their team is always searching for the next great star who can dominate the league from the Bronx spotlight. Inside the Yankees fan community, the rumor has already sparked waves of imagination about the team's future. Supporters are discussing how a pitcher with McClean's potential could transform the rotation and bring a fresh sense of energy to the roster. The Yankees have always valued powerful arms, pitchers who can command the mound with authority and challenge the most dangerous hitters in baseball without hesitation. McClean's reputation for intensity and confidence makes him an intriguing figure in that context. Fans are picturing the roar of the crowd echoing through the stadium as he steps onto the mound, the anticipation building before each pitch. In a city that thrives on big personalities and dramatic sports moments, the idea of a young pitcher embracing that stage is irresistible. Even if the rumor ultimately proves to be nothing more than speculation, it has already succeeded in capturing the imagination of a fan base that loves bold possibilities. At the same time, analysts and longtime observers of the game are approaching the rumor with a mixture of curiosity and caution. Baseball history is filled with surprising moves that initially seemed impossible, only to become reality after complex negotiations and unexpected opportunities. But is also filled with rumors that generated enormous excitement before quietly fading away. That uncertainty is part of what makes this story so fascinating. People are asking questions about the motivations that could drive such a scenario. Could the Yankees see McClean as a cornerstone for the future? Could the Mets be considering strategic changes that might open the door to unexpected decisions? No one outside the inner circles of team management truly knows the answers. And that mystery fuels the conversation even further, turning speculation into a constant topic across sports media. The energy in the Bronx continues to build as the rumor refuses to disappear from the spotlight. Yankees fans are known for their passion and their belief that their team should always pursue greatness. Whenever a talented player becomes even remotely linked to the organization, excitement spreads quickly. Nolan McClean's name carries that kind of magnetic pull right now. Supporters are discussing his potential impact, imagining the possibility of watching him grow into a star under the bright lights of Yankee Stadium. They talk about the atmosphere, the history, and the tradition of excellence that defines the franchise. For them, the rumor represents more than a hypothetical roster move. It represents the thrill of imagining a new chapter in the long story of baseball in the Bronx. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. Whether this speculation eventually turns into reality or fades back into the endless stream of sports rumors, one thing is certain. It has captured the attention of an entire city. The possibility of Nolan McClean arriving in the Bronx has become a narrative filled with drama, rivalry, and imagination. Fans from both sides of New York's baseball divide are watching closely, waiting for any hint of confirmation or denial that might clarify the situation. Until that moment arrives, the rumor will continue to live in conversations, debates, and late-night sports discussions. And in a city where baseball stories often feel larger than life, the mere idea of a Mets rising star stepping into Yankees pinstripes is enough to keep the Bronx buzzing with anticipation. As the rumor continues to spread through the baseball world, the sense of anticipation only grows stronger. Fans are refreshing their news feeds, listening carefully to every insider discussion, and trying to read between the lines of every comment made by analysts and former players. In moments like this, speculation becomes its own kind of entertainment. People begin imagining how the first appearance of Nolan McClean in Yankee pinstripes would feel, how the stadium would react the first time his name is announced over the loudspeakers, and how the crowd would rise to its feet as he walks toward the mound. The Bronx has always been a place where narratives are amplified, where a single moment can become part of baseball mythology. The idea that a young pitcher connected so strongly with the Mets could suddenly become part of that tradition feels almost unbelievable, yet is exactly the kind of storyline that keeps fans glued to the drama of the sport. Every new whisper, every hint from insiders, and every heated debate on sports television adds another layer to the growing legend of this rumor. At the same time, the conversation around Nolan McClean is also revealing just how much excitement young talent can generate across the entire baseball community. Even people who are not die-hard supporters of either New York team have started paying attention to the possibility of this dramatic twist. There is something inherently fascinating about watching a promising player potentially become the center of such a massive narrative. Fans begin analyzing his pitching style, discussing his strengths, and imagining how his development might accelerate if he were placed in the intense spotlight of the Bronx. The Yankees' environment has a reputation for forging unforgettable careers, but it also demands resilience and confidence from anyone who steps onto that field. For a competitor like McClean, some believe that challenge could bring out the very best version of his abilities. Others wonder whether the pressure of such a high-profile shift would create new obstacles. These questions keep the speculation alive and give fans endless material to debate. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.